Hello everyone. Sigma females steer clear of people with ulterior motives. They easily see through fake smiles and insincere compliments, and they notice the little signs that others often miss. Sigma females are sharp and perceptive, able to detect subtle hints, inconsistencies, and behaviors that show a person's real character. Unlike some who may overlook flaws, Sigma females rely on their instincts and experience to understand people beyond their outward appearance. This isn't about being unfriendly or judgmental, it's about protecting themselves. Sigma females prioritize their peace, time, and energy, and they are skilled at recognizing untrustworthy individuals, whether it's someone pretending to be the gentleman or someone using sympathy to manipulate others. They see past the facade. They avoid drama and don't need repeated warnings to know when someone is a negative influence in their life. They just watch, assess, and if needed, keep their distance. This ability to scan people is more than a skill. It's a strategy for safeguarding their boundaries and keeping their relationships honest and rewarding. Let's dive in. To understand this fully, I encourage you to watch the whole video and share your thoughts in the comments below. Number 1. Calling out overly nice behavior. A Sigma female is wary of people who seem excessively nice because she understands that true kindness doesn't need to be overly showy. When someone goes out of their way to assist, laughs too hard at not-so-funny jokes, or keeps giving overly sweet compliments, she gets suspicious, thinking, "What do they really want?" She's learned from experience that sometimes people use too much friendliness as a way to manipulate others, trying to win her over, make her feel indebted, or catch her off guard. While others might enjoy this kind of attention and think, "They're just very friendly," a Sigma female sees through it, recognizing that these people might have secret motives. She senses that beneath their warm exterior, they might be after something, whether it's information, influence, or just a place in her life. Rather than getting swept up, she keeps her eyes open, nods, and makes mental notes. She's not being negative. She simply understands that not everyone's kindness is genuine. So, when someone tries too hard to be her best friend, she steps back and watches. She knows that real kindness isn't pushy or desperate. It doesn't seek applause. By remaining cautious, she avoids falling into traps of deceitful niceness. Number 2. Observing how they act around less important people. A Sigma female watches closely how people treat others who they might not think are important. For her, the way someone behaves towards service staff, cleaners, or anyone they see as lower in society really shows their true nature, especially when they think no one is looking. Others may not notice these behaviors, but she sees them as key moments that display someone's real personality. If she notices any disrespect or indifference, she takes note of it. She understands that someone who cannot show basic courtesy to everyone probably has a deeper, nastier side. She's not fooled by outward charm or how convincingly someone can act like a nice person if it serves their purpose. She focuses on the small, revealing behaviors, how they talk to a server, whether they say thanks, or acknowledge someone else's hard work. These actions speak loudly to her. If someone behaves arrogantly or rudely to those they feel are beneath them, she takes it as a sign of hidden meanness. She won't just overlook such behavior. To her, true kindness isn't something that changes based on the situation. It's consistent in every interaction. If she senses any arrogance or cruelty, she'll walk away. No need for explanations or excuses. She holds respect in high esteem, and if they can't offer it to everyone, she won't stay. Number 3. Looking through fake sad tales. A Sigma female has a special knack for seeing through the sad stories that people often use to protect themselves. She isn't cold-hearted. In fact, she's very compassionate and can truly feel when someone is hurting for real. However, she's clever enough to spot when someone is using their tough times as a tool, aiming to tug at heartstrings for pity or to avoid taking blame. It's as if she has a special sense for noticing those who are quick to make a show of their difficulties. When someone begins to talk about their personal troubles, she pays close attention, evaluating not only what they say, but also why they say it. Is this person really looking for help, or are they trying to twist the situation to their advantage? A true Sigma can tell when emotional tales are being used as trade or to get on someone's good side. She realizes that some people are really good at playing with emotions to manipulate others, and she doesn't let herself get tricked by their acts. She might lend a sympathetic ear or give a moment of kindness, but she's careful not to get sucked into someone else's issues. She believes that being genuine about one's pain is one thing, but using it for personal gain is something completely different. In her view, taking advantage of trauma for sympathy is unfair to those who truly have tough challenges. She gives her support only to those who are truthful and straightforward, not to those who try to deceive her with their tearful tales. Number 4. Recognizing too much, too quickly. When a Sigma female sees someone hurrying into a connection or bond, she slows down and becomes suspicious. She understands that true connections need time to grow, similar to how fine wine gets better with age. It can't be rushed. If someone is pushing to move too quickly at the start, she senses something isn't right, like they're missing important steps on purpose. To her, rushing things signals hidden motives, maybe a secret plan or a need to be in charge. She believes that real relationships are formed on trust, mutual understanding, and shared moments, not on quick dramatic declarations or pretending to be close. When someone is too eager, it seems more like an act than a real bond. While others might be carried away by the thrill, she's analyzing why someone would want to move so fast. Is this person trying to win her over quickly for some reason, or are they simply trying to fill an empty space in their life? Her sharp instincts help her see what's really going on, letting her keep a distance and watch carefully. She might interact on a basic level, but she remains cautious. In her view, relationships are about meaningful and genuine connections. If anyone thinks they can rush into her heart, they'll soon find out they're wrong, because she values a slow and thoughtful approach over any quick fix. Number 5. Quiet observers of truth. Sigma females are really good at noticing the little things in what people say and do. They don't just accept someone at first impression. If the way someone speaks doesn't seem to fit with their expressions, if their gestures are a bit strange, or if there's an odd, brief silence, a Sigma female picks up on it right away. They're like natural detectives who can tell when someone's not being truthful, and they do it without showing their cards. They keep a friendly face, nodding and smiling, while secretly noting down all the clues. Think about a compliment that doesn't feel right. Most might ignore it, but a Sigma sees the hidden meaning. It's as if she's a detective observing every minor action and connecting the dots until she's certain she knows the real story, and no one realizes she's figured them out until it's too late. The irony is that while others think they're succeeding in their little deceptions, she's way ahead of them, already dismissing their attempts with a thought, "Nice try, but I'm not fooled." It's not about being overly suspicious. It's about being thorough. A Sigma doesn't feel the need to confront people every time. She just remembers these moments. clearly understanding who is authentic and who isn't. This skill is her quiet, secret strength, and she's totally okay with people not recognizing her full potential. Number 6. Noticing flaws and overconfidence. When someone enters a room showing off too much confidence, a Sigma female doesn't just ignore it and move on. She understands that this kind of show-off behavior usually hides a bunch of insecurities that nobody really wants to handle. While others might be fooled or put off by this display, she's silently analyzing it, trying to find out what's really going on beneath all that fake bravado. To her, overconfidence is like a bright sign saying, "Dig deeper, there's more here than you see." Most people might miss these flaws, but a Sigma female's senses are sharp. She realizes that if someone keeps trying to prove how great they are, they probably aren't as strong as they pretend to be. They might be trying too hard, or they might be scared of being exposed for who they truly are. Instead of falling for their performance, she just watches quietly, noticing the small mistakes and inconsistencies that show their real character. She finds it somewhat amusing. She can see through the show and isn't distracted by it. As they parade around, wanting everyone to recognize their importance, she's already spotted their vulnerabilities. It's not about judging them, it's about understanding people as they really are. For her, arrogance is just a mask that says, "Treat with caution," and she's wise enough not to get tangled in someone else's illusions. Number 7. Taking note of rude remarks. A Sigma female sees insults just like numbers in a list, not as something meant to hurt her. When someone throws a small insult her way, she doesn't get upset or take it personally. She just makes a mental note of who's trying to shake her confidence and, more importantly, why they might be doing it. She understands that usually insults say more about the person giving them than about herself. So she doesn't bother getting upset. Instead, she quietly watches and learns from what they say. She notices these insults as patterns that show her exactly who she's dealing with. If someone often makes snide remarks, she figures they're probably insecure. They might feel threatened by her, or they might just want to bring her down to their level. But she doesn't react or argue back. She just observes and listens, finding it kind of funny how clear their intentions are. While they think they're being smart, she's already way ahead, totally aware of the things they're projecting onto her. This way of handling things doesn't disturb her. It might even amuse her. She might quietly think to herself, "Interesting." Noted. For a Sigma, insults are not something to be upset about. They're just more clues that help her see who she's really dealing with. Instead of letting insults hurt her, she uses them to her advantage, turning each mean comment into a chance to learn, letting her critics show their own flaws without even realizing it. Number 8. Detecting false modesty. A Sigma female instantly spots fake modesty. When someone downplays their achievements by saying, "No big deal," or acts humble just to get compliments, she knows what's up. She can tell when someone's humility isn't genuine. It feels like a thin veil of desperation posing as politeness. To her, real humility doesn't need to be loudly declared or overstated, but the phony kind. It's glaringly obvious. She notices when people pretend to be modest while making sure everyone recognizes their accomplishments. You've seen those types, the ones who claim, "I hardly tried, but I did great," hoping someone will say, "Wow, you're so talented." To others, it might seem like a modest statement, but a Sigma sees it for what it really is, a crafty play for praise or a way to shift focus to themselves. For her, fake humility is just another tactic to manipulate. Instead of outright asking for applause, they seek it under the guise of humility, slipping in their need for approval on the sly. But with a Sigma, that tactic doesn't work. She doesn't fall for the modesty trick. She just gives a polite nod while internally dismissing it, fully aware of the true intent. For her, actions matter more than words that put oneself down. And when she sees someone faking it, she directs her recognition and focus directed somewhere else. Number 9. Understanding the tricks of deceivers. A Sigma female has dealt with mind games before, and she's not easily fooled by old tricks. Even when someone tries to change the story, bend the truth, or make her think she's reacting too much, she recognizes these moves easily. To her, these gaslighting efforts are just repetitive and ineffective, and she refuses to let anyone disturb her understanding of the truth. What sets her apart is her refusal to doubt herself. While others may start to question their memories or become unsettled, she holds on to what she knows firmly. A Sigma is steady in her views, and if someone tries to emotionally mislead her, she sees through it immediately. She doesn't need to raise her voice or get upset. She calmly points out the manipulation very clearly. Her reaction isn't over the top. Rather, it's a straightforward, "Nice try, but you're not changing my reality." Interestingly, those who try to gaslight often think they're smart. They're used to fooling others and expect to fool her too. But a Sigma female's mind is tough. She quickly notices any manipulation, addresses it directly, and then moves on, leaving the person trying to deceive her confused. In her life, the only truth that matters is what she experiences directly, and she won't let anyone shake her confidence in that. Number 10. Listening carefully for warning signs. A Sigma female isn't just being polite when she listens to someone talk. She has her own way of doing things. Instead of focusing on every little detail, she pays attention to certain phrases, tone shifts, and those silent moments when something important isn't said. Her way of listening acts like a sieve, filtering out unnecessary chatter and catching the important bits. She's not ignoring anyone. She's simply using her attention wisely. Whether it's a subtle comment, a brief pause, or a specific choice of words, she notices it all. If someone tries to conceal their real thoughts, they have to be perfect about it, because she'll notice any minor mistake. Her mind works like a detective, noting down subtle hints that most people miss. Usual tricks like flattery, too many details, or memorized responses can't sway her. She's already figured out the hidden meanings in their words. Her skill in selective listening keeps her connected to what's really happening, and it's tough to deceive her. Others might think they're leading the conversation, but she's always a few steps ahead, putting together their real intentions, doubts, and discrepancies. By the time they finish speaking, she already understands their true motives, and they don't even realize she's been analyzing every word they said. Number 11. Finding contradictions in their tales. When the details don't seem quite right, a Sigma female won't just sit quietly and accept it. She's brave enough to ask questions that might make others uncomfortable. She isn't trying to be mean. She's genuinely curious and isn't scared to look closely at the details when something seems odd. If there are holes in someone's story, or if it suddenly changes direction or speed, she'll throw in some clever questions. These might sound simple, but they're designed to uncover any lies. It's like she's checking facts in real time. She listens and nods, but her mind is working overtime, catching every hesitation, every mistake, and every hurried correction that someone tries to sneak by. Any change in their voice, a shift in the order of events, or a new piece of information out of nowhere. She notices it all. When the person begins to change their story or add details they hadn't shared earlier, she knows her suspicions were correct. What's particularly clever is that she doesn't attack or blame directly. Instead, she lets them complicate their own story just by asking for more information. Her questions are quiet and tactful, the sort that make someone realize they've been caught in a lie. By the end, they're stumbling over their words, and she has all the proof she needs. For her, the truth lies not in what people say, but in how consistently or inconsistently they stick to their tale. Number 12. Noticing small changes in their focus. A Sigma female is really good at noticing the small changes in how someone acts or talks that most people overlook. When she's in a group, she doesn't just listen to what's being said. She watches everything: how people speak, look, and behave. If someone's voice or body language shifts when they talk to different people, she spots it instantly, like a radar. She sees these little changes as clues that show more about someone's true nature. For her, it's all about the small details. If someone is super nice to powerful people but rude to others they see as less important, she gets suspicious. She figures out that the way people act in different social situations often shows what they really think and want. Is this person trying to get ahead by being nice to those in charge, or are they just not comfortable around certain people and overcompensating by being too friendly? Her skill in observing isn't about judging, it's about understanding the social world better. She knows that when someone's behavior changes, it's important. It shows how they see and value others. So while everyone else may just be enjoying the conversation, she's silently noting down her observations, gaining insights, and carefully deciding who to connect with and who to stay away from. For a Sigma, the truth lies in the facts, and she's committed to finding it. Number 13. Spotting overly curated lives. A Sigma female possesses a discerning eye for authenticity and is quick to notice when someone's life appears overly curated, particularly on social media platforms. She observes when an individual's online persona is meticulously crafted to showcase a series of uninterrupted successes and triumphs, with no sign of the inevitable struggles or failures that everyone encounters. This constant display of a perfect life often signals to her a deep-seated insecurity or a desire to be perceived in a certain way. Unlike many who might feel envious or impressed by such flawless portrayals, the Sigma female remains detached and analytical. She understands that life is inherently messy and that genuine people embrace this reality by sharing a balanced narrative that includes both their highs and lows. Authenticity for her is not found in a relentless stream of glamorous updates or staged photos capturing ideal moments. Instead, it resides in the honesty of presenting oneself as a complete person, flaws and all. Therefore, when she comes across someone whose social media feed resembles a carefully edited movie reel, she does not rush to engage or admire. Rather, she steps back and watches with a keen eye, knowing that true authenticity involves vulnerability and transparency. She values realness over perfection, and thus she navigates her social interactions with a preference for individuals who are honest about their lives, showing a blend of victories and challenges. Her approach is not about judgment, but about protecting her space from the influence of those who may prioritize appearance over substance. Number 14. Analyzing overcommitment tendencies. The Sigma female is also adept at recognizing individuals who habitually overcommit themselves to various tasks, projects, or social engagements. This pattern often reveals a deeper issue, such as a relentless pursuit of external validation or an avoidance of personal introspection and addressing underlying problems. To others, such behavior might appear as admirable dedication or high energy, but the Sigma female sees the potential pitfalls of such a lifestyle. Overcommitment can lead to burnout, stress, and a superficial engagement with tasks and relationships where quantity overwhelmingly trumps quality. She perceives that someone who rarely says no and stretches themselves too thin across multiple arenas might struggle with setting healthy personal boundaries or may fear missing out or disappointing others. This insight allows her to interact with caution and empathy, recognizing the potential for these individuals to neglect their needs and well-being in the quest to meet external expectations. In her personal philosophy, balance and the ability to manage one's commitments reflect strength and self-awareness. She values interactions that are rooted in mutual respect and understanding, where both parties can engage genuinely without the pressure to perform or please constantly. Thus, she gravitates towards forming relationships with those who not only respect their limits, but also embrace a more balanced and honest approach to life. In doing so, she fosters connections that are not only deep and meaningful, but also sustainable and nurturing, avoiding the chaos and superficiality that often accompany those who are overcommitted. Ultimately, a Sigma female possesses a special skill in understanding others deeply. She isn't interested in criticizing just to do so. She truly cherishes genuine behavior and won't accept anything less. She doesn't demand perfection from people, but she does expect honesty. Her sharp senses and observant nature are not about being overly suspicious. They are her tools for safeguarding her own space, energy, and tranquility. Using these skills, she sees beyond superficial traits to grasp the true nature of people, the hidden pride behind false confidence, insincere modesty, and shallow relationships. She sees everything clearly and isn't tricked for a moment. By spotting these small warning signs, she stays away from harmful relationships and avoids people who don't add real value to her life. A Sigma female isn't taken in by charm or grand actions. She values truth and depth. If anyone tries to manipulate her, they'll realize she's already way ahead, quietly observing the flaws in their act. Her approach to life is quality over quantity, and she's only interested in connections that are authentic. In a world where many settle for shallow interactions, she's unusual because she wants more, making her truly unique. Thanks everyone for watching. Catch you in the next video. Bye, stay blessed, and as always, until next time.